Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK, and are you ready for another episode of the December Daily Directory series? I hope you are, and this is going to really get you in the mood for getting this album started with the prep pages. So obviously we've done the DIY filler cards, and now we are going to look at some DIY embellishments. So I think circles for me is the trick to some good DIY embellishments. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by punching out some 2-inch circles, and I'm just using the Holly Jolly Christmas paper pad, and these are great because they're double-sided as well, so you've got a choice of different patterns, and just working my way through. These are brilliant as well because one side is block colouring and then one side is the pattern. So I'm just having a look to see what else I want to include on this. And you'll see there that I've got to hand my tray of embellishments and my stickers, and there's some punches there that I don't actually end up using in this video, but I like to have them out and to hand so I can remind myself that I've got other bits that I can use. So first of all here, I've just got a few pieces of chipboard, and I'm just going to arrange these, lay them out on where I think I want them to go. And I'm not committing to anything just yet. Now I have a tip with chipboard, because obviously chipboard generally has the adhesive already on the back. Now what you can do is you can apply, I have an EK Success tool that just is talcum powder in it, and you just sort of rub the talcum powder over the back and it just de-sticks, takes all the adhesive off, and that enables me then just to be able to add all of my chipboard into a little pot rather than onto a big sheet as they normally are. And then you can just add your own adhesive when you are ready, which I always do anyway because they never stick very well. So on to the next one. I've got these little bubble ephemera or bubble shaker pocket things, and these were from Hobbycraft last year. So that's circular, so that's going on to that one, and I don't do anything else with that one. Next up, onto this little pink one here. So I've added that circle, again keeping with the circular theme. It helps to bring it in and tie it all in together. So I've just cut down that tiny word sticker, which is a very Merry Christmas to you. And this is a great technique. So although it might be a long sticker, don't be scared to cut into it and actually make it fit what you are doing. You could do exactly the same as what I'm doing here with squares as well. If you'd prefer a square variety, then cut yourself down some 2x2s, especially if you're using the 2x2 pocket pages. I know a lot of people do struggle with those pocket pages. So circles or little squares to add into those make the job so much easier when it comes to filling those little pockets. So I'm just having to sift through ephemera pieces here, and if you haven't seen the previous videos, then in my kit I have a mixture of ephemera from Holly Jolly Christmas from Bella Boulevard. I have Snow and Cocoa from Crepe Paper, and I think I have a few bits from, it was a Project Life pack that had journal cards and also ephemera pieces. So I'm just adding that all in. I've added it all into my kit to get it used up. I haven't purposefully or specifically bought anything this year because I do have so much Christmas stash that I've just pulled it all in together, or most of it in together, to create my own kit. So I was almost tempted to buy the new, is it Very Merry collection, the new crepe paper one? It might be called that. But I was tempted to get that this year, and I ended up not, because I have plenty of stash already. So I am trying to get that used up rather than purchasing new supplies. So this one here, I've just added on that little Christmas tree ephemera piece, and again cut another one of those tiny words down and space that out over the card. And it's okay to go back to them as well if you feel that you've done one card and there's something else that you want to add on. So once I feel like I've finished a card, then I'm just moving it over to the right hand side, and I know which ones I have left to work on. And you'll see me flick here between different ones as well. So I add that little wooden button on. And again, as per my last video, the wooden buttons are on these at the moment, but they do make the pocket a bit warped, the plastic a bit warped. So what I'll probably do is when it comes time to actually forming the foundation pages, I will stick that wood button to the front of the pocket page instead. And I try not to use too many of them as well, because again, they will bulk the album out. So just be mindful as to how many you use. That little snowman's going on there, and I think I'm calling that one done. Sorry, this is quite close to the bottom of the screen. I wanted to get in the tray of goodies that I'm using along with, you know, what I'm doing with them, so you can see what I'm working with. And this one here, just popping on that little Jingle Bells chipboard piece, and then the snowflake underneath. And because I want that one to go into one of the little 2x2 pockets, I've cut down the edges of the snowflake. You can leave the embellishments hanging over the circle, and that's if you then want to use it in the little 2x2 pocket, you can just cut it down then. These can be used on your journal card. So obviously we did some DIY filler cards yesterday and the day before, but if you wanted to add one of these on to a filler card, you could pop one right in the middle, and that is your filler card done. So you'll see here, I'd actually done these little embellishments before the filler cards, and that little cluster of ephemera pieces there to the left, I'd actually put that into, or made that up into one of the filler cards instead. So you might see things and you might think you prefer them in a different way, and that's what happened with that. So rather than using them on these little circle embellishments, I've put it to one side to use it for something else. So just cutting down another little tiny word sticker. These are the Tim Holtz ones, and I decide that I want to layer these over this card here, and the little tag. So again, don't be scared to use things like tags. Typically people use as sort of tuck pieces, so you could use it as a little journaling spot, but for me, I've just popped it onto the circle and then just added a tiny word sticker and then just a little bit of twine to finish it off. And then onto this chipboard piece that says Noel, and I'm adding in another snowflake. So the kits that I'm using, or the collections that I'm using, have the crepe paper one is mainly sort of winter themed rather than not necessarily Christmas themed. And that's why I quite like having multiple collections pulled in together. So the other one is quite Christmassy, and so I can use a mixture of sort of winter and Christmassy themed items all together. So this is where I do go back over a couple of the little ephemera pieces, or the little embellishment clusters, and I'm just adding in some of these little gold stars which came from a Studio Calico kit. So you'll hear me say that quite a lot, and that's just because I've gone through my stash, and anything that I think that I can sort of pull in and make use of, then I want to try and get used up. So although these aren't out of a collection as such, they will go great with this kit. Gold stars will go great with anything, to be fair. So this is, I'm just grabbing a couple of the ones that I've already made, ones that I want to add on some of these little gold stars to, and just adding those on also. And then onto this piece here with adding another tiny word sticker, but I found that this was covering up the ephemera piece too much, so I just pull that ephemera piece back up really gently to stop it from tearing on the back. And if it does tear, don't worry, just punch another circle and stick it down on that circle instead. And I'm just going to add on this little sweater weather and cutting around the edges there. And then next on to this one here, as I said, I'm using a multitude of different numbers, and this is one of the paperclip numbers from Studio Calico, and that's the number 4, and that's just going to slot straight on there, and that's my number 4 done. And then finally, unless I'm going to add some other bits on. Oh no, just putting them back in the packet. And then finally, I'm just going to work on this little one here. Backing them with tags also works, so if you want to extend your clusters out, then pop them on a tag and they'll look just as good. So I hope this video has brought you inspiration. If it has, then please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and you leave me any comments you like down below. I'll get back to each and every one of you. And I'll see you again tomorrow for another DIY embellishment. Bye!